Smooth family was good. It's been a minute. I know life been life, and your boy been busy with some other stuff, and y'all already know dealing with sickle cell, so that's already a lot going on as it is. But we're back. I appreciate everybody that's been sending the prayers and making sure I'm all right. Things of that nature. We very much appreciate it. We gonna jump into this in a few seconds. I do miss y'all. How y'all doing today? Hope y'all, having a good Sunday. If you didn't, hopefully, this makes it better. You feel me? But yeah. Let us know if you're in the chat. Say, hey, what's up? Whatever it is, I want to greet yourself. And we appreciate everybody that's still stick with us. We ain't perfect when it comes to this, but we appreciate y'all for coming through. Yeah, it has been a minute. How you feeling?
Good, man.
Good.
I'm good.
All right. We're going to keep this thing off. What's good, Smooth family? It's your boy, Be Smooth. You can't be smooth, and you got to move. In this Smooth Talk, I'm your host, Brandon, a.k.a. Be Smooth. My other host, y'all know him as Carl. Some of y'all know him as Pete. Some of y'all know him as Papa Smooth.
Yeah.
This is my father. We doing this thing on here, this podcast and stuff like that. And for today's episode, we're going to be talking about sacrificing. I know that might be a touchy subject for some people, but we got to talk about it, So, first question I got for everybody is, what does sacrificing mean to you? What does it mean to you? Let us know. What do you think sacrificing means to you? Then we're going to look up the definition as well. Well, what does it mean to you? Pops.
That's giving up. You're giving up something.
Yeah. If you had to break
it, it's a good thing or bad thing. You're gonna give up something.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's giving up something, like you said, whether it could be good, it could be bad. It could be anything, honestly, depending on the situation and what it is. So I definitely agree with that, as far as the definition of what it means. Now, the actual definition, sacrificing means giving up something valuable, important, or loved for a different goal, belief, person, or higher cause. The term spans everyday personal choices, historic religious tradition, and tactical moves in games. So sacrificing, that's the actual definition right there. This next question I got for everybody is, how much of yourself should you sacrifice for the people you love? And that's going to be a real deep question. How much of yourself should you sacrifice for the people you love? Honestly, to me, it can vary. It can vary, because you can sacrifice a lot of yourself for greater or for worse. It just depends on what's going on and what it is that you sacrifice. Honestly, I would say, if I had to give a percentage of how much of yourself you should sacrifice, it's rough. I'd probably say like maybe like 43%, maybe, depending on what it is and what's going on in your life. Everybody different, so that's why I say that. Like, for example, if you take me, my dad, my mom, it's different, just because, one, a lot of y'all know I deal with sickle cell. So it's a lot of sacrifices that have to be made. So for us, it can be different. For us, it could be like 50-50. For somebody else, it could be 60-40, and etc. So that's why I asked that question, is how much of yourself should you sacrifice for people you love? What's your thoughts on that?
We give up a lot for people. That's it's a good percentage there because a lot of times, and it can be more.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we give up 70% sometimes just to satisfy somebody else, or just to, as me and Pastor James were talking about, just to fit in.
Yeah.
And that can be a little tricky because you trying to ease into something that you really shouldn't even be in. I just put it that way.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Because, like I said, when it comes to sacrificing, it's certain situations that you shouldn't be in, and then there are situations that you probably should be in. It really just varies on your life and what you got going on, and your life choices, and the people around you. Honestly, everybody's different. Some of us live the same lifestyle, some of us don't. So it really just depends, honestly. So you can't really 100% pinpoint how much you should sacrifice unless you apply your own life. And by the way, if y'all want to put in the comments, share your thoughts on it, feel free to do that. If you want to share it with somebody, do that as well. A topic that I have to bring up is like, when it comes to sacrificing, you will lose friends, family, and maybe even a relationship when it comes to sacrificing. You may lose or gain, but you for sure gonna end up losing some people when it comes to sacrificing.
Especially if it's for the betterment of you.
Yeah, it's inevitable. You can't avoid it. As much as we may want to, it's inevitable. As someone that be trying to avoid certain situations, and like, I don't like conflict, but also I know the reality is that it's inevitable. I can't avoid it. But when it comes to sacrificing, you're gonna lose family, friends, relationships, friendships, everything. Like it really depends. Especially like you said, when it comes to bettering yourself and your life, and shoot, even when it comes to trying to help better somebody else or even your loved ones, it happens. It does happen.
Yeah, because everybody is not gonna accept
or agree with what you're doing.
Agree with what you're doing. And once you get on the other side of trying to be better, especially when you make up your mind to be better, then it's gonna cause some conflict because everybody's so used to you being in one place in life, and they want you to stay there and not move and not go nowhere, just be there the whole time.
Everybody not meant to be in your life forever. And that's something like, there's people in your life that's meant to be there for a season, some that's meant to be there for a lifetime. It just depends. But you can't take everybody with you, and everybody's not going to be in your life forever. As much as we may want them to, it don't always be like that. Mm-hmm. Now, this next point I got to bring up is not every sacrifice will be recognized. You may do things for people that they never fully understand or appreciate, which it happens. It won't be recognized all the time.
Mm-hmm. Not all the time.
And it's not really something you should like throw in people's face. As much as you may want to, and depend on certain situations, like, don't get me wrong, sometimes it is needed to let somebody know so they can understand the reality and the longevity of what's going on and what's really happening, depending on the circumstances. But yeah, not every sacrifice you make will be recognized. Sometimes it will go unnoticed, and that's okay, depending on what's happening. But like, there's things that my father and my mother did for me growing up, and even for things around me that I didn't fully understand. And so once I got older, started realizing, started asking questions, and them teaching me, then I finally like grasped it and understood, like, okay, so you did this because of this, that, third. So that explains a lot. And sometimes you have to have that conversation with, your child, your parent, whoever it is, in your life. You got to have those conversations.
And then what are you willing to give up?
Yeah.
In your own life, what are you willing to put put away or do away with? Or who are you willing to cut off to even get this going? You know, starting a business. It takes a lot of sacrifice to start a business.
Mhm.
You know, it takes money, it takes time, it takes opportunity from other people to come in and help you get this off the ground. It just takes a lot of stuff, and you really have to give up a lot of your time to get it going.
Yep. You're gonna sacrifice your sleep. You're gonna sacrifice sometimes not eating. It's a lot that comes with that, especially when it comes to your dreams, which ties into this, is like your dreams may require sacrifice. Success often means giving up temporary comfort for something you believe is more important, which that's true. When it comes to success, like he was saying, it's gonna be a lot of sacrifices that will have to be made. You're gonna have to stop going out. You know, if you're that type of person that likes to go out all the time, you're gonna have to give that up. You know, you're gonna miss out on certain events that may be going on, hanging out with your friends, hanging out with family. You're gonna sometimes miss out on sleep. You know, if you got kids, you will be there for them. You know, you will do everything that you can to be there, but sometimes you might miss out on certain things that they have going on. You try your best not to, but sometimes you're doing it for the right reason. Some people do it for the wrong reason. So don't get that twisted. But
and speaking of kids, what a lot of parents, young parents, don't understand. It's not about you anymore once you have a child. It's not about you. You're gonna have to give up a lot of stuff that you used to doing. You know, you used to get up and go and just do what you want to do. Now you got to get up, get a child ready, make sure the child's fed, changed, or whatever while they're young.
before you ready,
Before you even do whatever you need to do throughout your life. I mean, throughout your day. Because buying all these, unless you just make that type of money or whatever. But going out here buying clothes like you used to, a lot of this stuff stopped. You got to go to the doctor with the child. You got this for the child. You got to provide this for the child. You got to make sure the child got this right here. Got to make sure they're in a well, safe place. You got to do. There's a lot of stuff you have to do, especially now. The time and the age that we're in right now, it's a lot that you have to pay attention to, and it's a lot you got to give up. Make sure everybody in the household is well and dandy and fine.
Yeah.
Especially when you're a single mother or a father.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do that kind of stuff.
Even like my friends and stuff like that that do have kids, I've even heard them say that obviously they're gonna take their child to the doctor and stuff like that. But I've heard them say they took them to the doctor and they ain't been to the doctor themselves in months, maybe years, depending on what's going on. But that's sometimes what happens. Especially like you said, when you have children, you sacrifice a lot of things. Things that you used to do, you won't be able to. Sometimes you won't be able to do it no more. Not unless you got it like that. By all means, you do you. That's your life. What you do is what you do. But it's a lot of stuff that comes with that. Because even looking at my dad and looking at my mom, especially when it came to dealing with my sisters and dealing with me, I know it was a shift change from my sisters, and then you have me that had sickle cell. So I know it was a huge difference in that, and it was a lot of sacrifices that they both had to make because they never dealt with someone that had sickle cell. So it was just, matter of fact, what was that like? Since we on that topic, like what was that like?
It's a change from my daughters to you. Yeah, I watch them and change them and feed them and you know, different stuff. But when it came to you, now at the hospital, I got to make sure we had to make sure you at your doctor's appointment. You got to figure out the different cries, whether you growing up, whether you was in pain or you just hungry or just need to be changed, stuff like that. It's a totally different. You didn't want nobody else to keep you because you never know. And if they don't understand, they're gonna go into a panic mode, and then they say, we getting a phone call anyway. So you know, the whole life changed. It
Mhm.
changed. Not saying it's a bad thing. It just changed. You know, you adjust to a lot of stuff. Uh, when once you deal with somebody with sickle cell, and we need to have that topic again. Talk about sickle cell because it's a lot going on in that world.
Yeah, that y'all may or may not know about. But another reason why I asked him that question is because some of our audience, a lot of them do have sickle cell, or they might have, take care of people that have it and stuff like that. So that's kind of why we touched on that a little bit. And it's not even just with sickle cell, any, health conditions that you may have, it will change you in a way, not in a bad way, but like there will be sacrifices that will have to be made. So that's why I asked that question. So this question right here is, when does sacrifice become self neglect? Me, honestly, when it becomes self neglect, is when you start not taking care of yourself and you start pretty much losing yourself to the point you're becoming unrecognizable to yourself and the people around you, to where you like, dang, I don't even know who this person is anymore. Like, who am I?
And then it become more about people pleasing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care what you do, you can never please people.
Mm-hmm. And we talked about that.
You can please them, they're gonna want more. You can please them, they expect more. You can please them, they're gonna want you to do even greater.
Greater, yeah.
So people pleasing, and we all been through that. We all have at some point. We have, whether you realize it or not, we all have at some point. But you can never please people. People will never be satisfied.
Yeah. Especially like ungrateful people. And then you got, like, I know it's a lot of y'all in here that have a big heart and you want to help people and things of that nature. Trust me, I know, because I do it myself. But sometimes you have to like sit back and realize that I can't lose myself behind this, behind trying to like help this person. Not everybody want to be helped. And you sacrificing your own mental, your own mental state and whatever else you sacrificing to please this person when they never gonna be really satisfied for real. So you have to ask yourself, like, why am I hurting myself like this when I shouldn't be? So this next question I got for y'all. By the way, somebody put a comment. By the way, if you need me to slow down with the questions, yeah, let me know. I'll definitely slow down.
Yeah, cause he be wide open.
Yeah, I'll be wide open. I'll be trying to like slow down. Marlo, what's up, man? How you doing? Well, before I go into the next question, I got to bring up this bullet point. Sacrifice isn't always love. Sometimes we sacrifice because we're afraid of rejection, abandonment, or disappointing people, which is facts.
Yeah.
I've been there. You've been there. We all been there. We be scared, that if we say no, or if we don't sacrifice this, we might get rejected, or this person might abandon us, or we might disappoint people. I sometimes get like that every once in a while, here and there. Marlo said, isn't there a time to let go? Yeah. Which that ties into one of them too, one of the points I got.
Yeah, it's a time to let go. It's a time to just like, I'm gonna let whoever trying to stop me, I'm gonna let them go on by their business. Now you married, that's a whole different situation right there. But it is a time where you just have to let things just go.
Which you pretty much is tied into my next bulletin point, which is sacrificing could be just letting them go. And there's a time and place for that. And like you said, when it comes to marriage, is different. I never been married, so I don't know too much on that, but I'm still like learning from watching people and asking questions from people that is married. But outside of marriage, you have to know when to let them go And sometimes you might not have that clear sign right away. It might take time for some. And it does take a while to adjust to and be like, okay, I need to figure out when to let them go. Now, if you have multiple people that's coming to you and telling you, like, this ain't good for you, you need to let that go. It's not going to be easy, trust and believe. And for the ones that may get aggravated with you, that's because they don't fully understand, like, where you at mentally and what it is you may be going through. So they might get a little frustrated with you. You can tell the ones that genuinely care versus the ones that's just like doing it for whatever they reason it may be. But they don't understand that you sacrificing your own mental state or trying to wrap your mind around letting this person go. So it still ties into it regardless. So when it comes to like letting either people, things, or whatever the situation is, when it comes to letting stuff go, it will be hard. It will be hard. You will have to take some time to adjust, get your mind right, get your spirit right, whatever it is you do. Meditate, read, listen to music. If you religious, do whatever you practice. But I would say when it comes to letting people go or things, is when you get fed up, or if you notice that you're always drained every time you sacrifice trying to help this person or being in this certain environment or whatever situation may be, if you're able to get out of it, depending on whatever that may be. I know for a lot of people, some are less fortunate than others, so it might be a little hard. If you need help with that, don't be afraid to reach out to somebody to try to get you that help. Like I said, we don't know y'all life. So,
no.
But just know that there's always people out here to help, though.
No, I'm gonna put this in here about sacrifice. I got a little notes too, so when you sacrifice, sometimes you sacrifice your identity. When you constantly change who you are to satisfy people, which I was saying that earlier, eventually you could lose sight of who you really are. And then the question will come about that: am I being myself, or am I performing the version of me that people will accept?
That's a great point.
I'm going to bring some of this in when me and Pastor James come on next Sunday.
That's it.
I'm going to bring this sacrifice. It goes in hand to hand on the topic for next, when we pick up from when we were talking about you're not meant to fit in. And this right here, sacrifice, goes right in about this fitting in.
What did Marlo say?
There's a time to let go, and the problem is the person letting go is afraid to let go because of the things they will, and it isn't thinking about their happiness. Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, you will.
The last part he said for themselves.
And then for themselves, yeah.
Yeah.
But then you have to look at yourself. Just like I have to look at myself.
I'm rereading it, so that's why I'm just like kind of stuck on this a little bit. Yeah. That.
And a lot of times they're afraid to let go because they don't want to start over.
Yeah, they don't want to start over. That's what most people be afraid of, is the starting over part. Because let's be honest, you've done so much in your life to get to where you are. Either that's in a career or with a significant other, whatever the situation is. It will bother you having to think like, dang, I might have to start over. Like that will really bother you. That's just like anybody, that played video games before, which I'm just using as a reference. But anybody that played, video games, if you didn't save that file or whatever, you did not want to start that over. You did not want to start that game over. But that's pretty much how it is in real life.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so that's pretty much like how it is in real life. We be afraid of starting over, but sometimes starting over is a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like a video game, but it's a couple things different between life and a video game. One of the main things is you can't match no reset button.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start this over. No, you don't went through that part. Now you going on now.
Mm-hmm.
Then want to complain about being happy and want to fault that person.
Yeah.
Man, so many people complain about certain stuff. They blame everything on the other person. It's blamed this on that spouse blamed this on spouse. And honestly, it ain't gonna get nowhere anyway. I ain't saying I'm an expert or nothing like that. So for somebody to say something, no, I'm not even saying that. But we complain about everything instead of just sitting down trying to find out what the root cause of everything, and then you go from there.
Because nowadays, people don't want to sacrifice having that uncomfortable conversation, depending on who it is. But from the context of reading that comment, Marla, it seemed like you might be talking about like either just in general, whether that be family or from like a relationship aspect or even friendship. But if we talking from like relationship standpoint, well, I ain't even gonna say that. From every standpoint, family, friends, relationship, all of that. People don't want to sacrifice having an uncomfortable conversation because it goes back to you either don't want to do it, you're afraid of rejection, abandonment, and things of that nature. But I ain't gonna say sometimes. A lot of the times, those conversations are needed. That way, you can figure out, like you said, the root cause of it, and figure out where y'all stand with each other. That way, you know how to move forward. Sometimes you might not get that luxury to have that conversation with them. Some people don't want to have those conversations, and that's when you have to make the sacrifice and the choice to be like, well, if this is how you feel, we no longer need to be associated with each other. Or, I still love you, I still rock with you, but from a distance. And you move on from there. It don't be easy. It will hurt. It does hurt. But that's part of life. Now, if you come across somebody that's willing to have those conversations, then you go from there. You figure out the root cause. And nowadays, especially in this generation, which, boy, I feel weird saying it because it's tied into my generation. But anyway, a lot of us don't be wanting to have simple conversations and be like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what is it that I'm doing wrong? Like, obviously don't approach it with attitude, but like, what is it that I'm doing wrong? Like, what is it that I'm doing that's hurting you or whatever it is that I'm causing to make you act this way and vice versa? A lot of people don't want to do that. They don't know how to do that. You can learn. Nothing wrong with asking, but nowadays everybody's having an attitude or whatever. Move how they want to move. It's like the slightest bit of conflict, you on to the next instead of just handling it. But that's another topic for another time. So a question I have is, would you sacrifice your happiness to make someone else happy? Why or why not?
Work. It's especially in a marriage. Oh, man. People have said a happy wife is a happy life. But a lot of times they leave out the man with that. I'm just trying to be a little careful on that.
Yeah. Be careful.
But speaking from the truth side of it, the truth side of it, that could be a true statement. A happy wife is a happy life. But that man is giving up a whole lot just to keep you happy. And at the same time, you can be destroying him on the inside. And it could be vice versa.
Yeah.
The woman trying to keep the man happy, trying to do this. A lot of times, to keep both, just my opinion, put that out there, my opinion, to keep both the two of you all happy and happy and happy is to just be who you are, talk things out, communicate. Yeah, you're gonna have disagreement. That's any relationship, whether you're dating or married, it don't make no difference. You're gonna have disagreement. But if you try to make the other person more happier and stay happy all the time, then you will lose your self-identity or who you really are. And that should be your main focus. Now,
doing it.
If you're the person that like to spend a lot of money and all that kind of stuff, then you ask for trouble. Because let's say he's so used to doing that, but then hard times come, he can't do that no more. He got to get a lesser paying job, but you're gonna still require what he was doing or what she was doing, and it's gonna be a problem right there.
Mm-hmm. He said,
Right.
"Try that, and it doesn't work."
Stuff like that. That's a hard cake for.
Yeah,
it's a hard cake. It's like a cake that's been sitting out for months and it's don't get hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to cut it.
Even when it comes to relationships and stuff like that, the both of you gonna sacrifice a lot. Both the man and the woman and all that other stuff. Like you're both gonna sacrifice a lot of stuff. We need each other at the end of the day. You know, as much as I'm sacrificing to make you happy, you will want the same thing for your significant other. So like, even me, I would want that, you know, for my girlfriend or wife, whatever, to do the same thing. Not everything that I'm doing, no, but like just like little things and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, you both will sacrifice a lot. It would not be easy. Trust and believe. It will not be easy.
Oh no, it's not gonna be easy.
It never is. He said, Marlo said you both have to come in understanding about being happy in a home or relationship. Yeah. We said our relationship. But yeah, you gotta come to an understanding. That's why a lot of people skip the friendship stage when it comes to relationships and marriages and stuff like that. They forget that whole part. You start out as friends and actually get to know this person. Now you're not gonna know everything about them off rip. That's not how that works. And you'll learn more about them over the years. That's how it's supposed to be. And mind you, I'm 28. So that just shows you how much I learned over the years and just from people I talk to and learn. But you have to start off as friends, actually get to know this person. You're gonna sacrifice your time, which I know a lot of people don't want to do that. But if you try to be in a relationship or a marriage, you're gonna have to sacrifice your time. You might just sacrifice, a few dollars, depending on whatever it is you're doing. But not everybody requires it. Sometimes, like I said, it goes back to your time, to where you go out, spend time with this person, get to know them. And then depending on, if that person may have a child, you're gonna have to sacrifice like getting to know them when that time comes, and things of that nature. And it's a lot behind that you're gonna have to sacrifice. That's all I'm gonna say. But like
now, watch this. Because I like using them 2 words, them 3 words. No, them 2 words. Watch this. Now watch this. Especially us men. I ain't no woman, so I can't speak as a woman. I'm a man. We'll come in a relationship doing all this stuff. We give up a lot of stuff instead of just really being us. We'll jump in and be like, hey, what's up? And we'll give up a lot of stuff, but then inside the relationship, once you get inside a relationship, it fades.
It fades out.
It fades out because you feel like, oh, I got him now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I remember Deacon Willie, rest in peace, Deacon Willie. Willie Ross. You remember Willie, don't you?
Yeah.
Rest in peace. He taught me a lot back then. And like he said, you have to keep what you start out doing, you have to keep doing.
You have to keep doing it. Yeah.
You have to keep doing it.
Because, like, even me, like, yeah, I have friends the same age as me, some a little bit younger than me, but majority of my friends are the same age, if not older than me. And we have discussions like this for a reason. One, we all young adults. We getting older. We ain't getting no younger. So I tell my friends, and I would expect them to tell me the same thing. Whatever you did to get that person, continue to do that. You're not gonna always do it every time, every day, all day. That's not gonna be a thing. You're not gonna be able to. But even when you don't feel like doing it, you're gonna have to sacrifice that. Because this is somebody you love, this is somebody you care about. You still being yourself, you just gonna have to sacrifice that. That's just like anybody that's, a gym head, if you like going to the gym. We all know, as much as you do not want to get up and go to the gym or go work out or whatever you want to do, you still do it though. And sometimes it becomes easy. Some days it becomes harder. That's how it is. Just like me, I deal with sickle cell. There's times I don't want to get up. Sometimes I'm not capable of getting up. It just depends. But I still do it because I have a life, that I'm trying to live. And on top of that, I still have to, bills still need to be paid and everything else. So it's like I have to get up and do that. So it'd be times where I'm going to sacrifice my own health. Now I'm going to make sure I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. But I have to do that to maintain my life. To make sure I'm good up here, but also in here. You feel me? So like sacrifice, a lot of people don't realize when it comes to sacrificing, if you really break it down, we sacrifice a lot of stuff every day. Whether you believe that or not, we are sacrificing every second, every minute, whether you know that or not, whether you're aware or unaware. It happens. That's life.
Yep. That is life. I mean, you even in my notes, you sacrifice your values.
Mm-hmm.
You do. Fitting in can pressure you to compromise convictions, moral standards, and your beliefs.
Yeah.
How bad do you want that woman or man?
And you got some people that will sacrifice their dignity, their morals, their pride, their self, everything just to get, whether it's that woman, that man, that job, that opportunity, whatever it is.
Yeah. So how bad? But
what's up, Jerry?
Pastor,
what's going on, brother?
Hey,
what's going on?
My brothers.
You doing all right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
I thought about it when my son started talking about this. I said, let me see if Pastor doing anything. See what he's doing, man.
Yeah, I was just kind of laying on the couch, just trying to recoup from this morning, and then I heard a little bit what y'all was talking about, and your son made some great points when talking about sacrifice. And when I was growing up, my mother told me, like your son said, how you got to continue to keep doing it, because when you slack up doing it, then here comes somebody coming in the back door gonna take up your slack, and now you go, now you got to step your game back up, but sometimes it be too late, and when they talk about sacrifice, that's a big word, because sometimes we can be selfish. We could think about it's all about us, and we expect others to make the sacrifice for us, and we don't want to put forth the effort to make the sacrifice. And the ultimate sacrifice was paid on the cross. Jesus sacrificed his life, and he didn't have to do it. But he said, Father, nevertheless, not my will, but thy will be done. And so, uh, just like our kids, we make sacrifice for our kids to have. We make sacrifice for our kids to be great. We go beyond because we don't we make the sacrifice because what we didn't get as a child, we don't want our kids or grandkids to experience the things that we had to go through. So that's why we go hard. We work hard. We do everything we can to sacrifice that they will have a better life.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like you said, we go and we call it, if you were a ball player, we call it you go hard in the paint.
Yes, yes,
And we
yes.
give up. You give up as a parent. You give up a lot, like you just said.
hmm
You don't
hmm
want your children to experience that themselves. But like my mama always said, sometimes you gotta let them feel that.
Right, that's true.
Yeah,
hmm hmm
yeah,
hmm
and
Because I know my grandson, he's a good kid, but he could be a knucklehead at times, and you know, and I went and bought him some school stuff. And he did something, and I told my wife, I said he ain't getting it. I've been working hard. I don't make the sacrifice. He ain't getting these shoes, and my wife is like, well, you can't buy him the shoes and take them back. I said, yes, I can. I said he got to act like he got to show appreciation, you know. And so sometimes we I sit there, I was like, well, okay, but life, man, is tricky, man, and some people just ain't appreciative. When you make sacrifice, when your parents or anybody make a sacrifice for you, you got to show your gratitude, because for one, they didn't have to do it, you
Mhm.
know, and so you know, my mother always told me when somebody do something for you, they don't have to do it. You always say thank you, because people don't have to be nice,
Mm-mm.
you know,
mhm.
and so when people think about you and they be considerate of you and they go out their way, and sometimes some people will sacrifice their kids from having to make sure somebody else kids got it, you know. And man, this is when you text me the topic, man. This is uh, a real good topic because uh, in the midst of sacrificing, like I say, we can become real selfish. Why should I have to do this? Why should I have to do that? Why should I have to worry about and making sure somebody else got? Sometimes we think about me, myself, and I. Long as I got, long as I'm okay, you know. But we shouldn't have that mindset. And so, I appreciate the sacrifice that my mother made for me and my brother and sister because, man, and it can be a burden because you look at what other kids got, you know, the new shoes, the new clothes, they're doing this and doing that. And sometimes you be like, man, I wish, you know. And when I was going to school, my mother, she couldn't afford those things that the other parents was buying their kids because she was a single parent and she made sure there was food on the table. She made sure we had a roof over our head. And I just started wearing name brand clothes till I got grown, you know. But I was appreciative, you know, it wasn't the best like everybody else, but I was appreciative. I thank God that the sacrifice that she made so that we can have. You know, she went without eating for we could eat. And so I'm just grateful, man. I'm grateful for the sacrifice.
Mhm. And like you said, people do have to like be appreciative of stuff like that because at the end of the day, we never know what somebody's really going through for real and what they had to
Mm-hmm.
give up to be in the position that they in and what they
Right,
got to do to
right, right,
provide for their family. Because
right.
we don't know if somebody gave away they had to give away their clothes or their furniture or whatever just to provide food for their family. We don't know that.
Right, right,
But they had to make that sacrifice. A lot
right,
of people don't
right,
understand it. So they'll see it
right.
and just be like, they'll pick on them and talk down on them, but it's like that could be you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
And you
people don't
know,
think that
and, and you know, it's funny. It's funny why you said that while ago. I remember as a child, you know, when my mother had to wait to payday, you know, and you know, we used to love watching TV, but she had to sacrifice the TV to go pawn the TV to make a sacrifice, and I couldn't understand it. Mama, where the TV at? You know, and you know, we didn't have radios back in then. We all the time we had was black and white TV, and she said, you know, I had to sacrifice the TV so you have something to eat. You know, and I, as a child, I didn't really understand it then, but as time grew and I got older, I understood it better. You know, we got to get something. You got to sacrifice something. You know, you got
hmm
to be willing. You got to be willing to give up something to get something. And we're living in a day and time now that people don't want to give up nothing. You know, they want everything for themselves. You know, we can see homeless. We can look. We can see homeless people. We'll go to the other side. You know, we won't say. I mean, whatever. You know, whatever they. If you give them a dollar or two, if you ain't getting it from the counters of your heart, whatever they do with it, that's on them. But you know, I'm gonna make the sacrifice. If I see you hungry, you know, hey man, he go $2 or $3, go get you something to eat or whatever. And you know, and God pays attention to how we do, how we treat one another. And man, I tell you, the sacrifice that was made on my behalf, man, uh, it's priceless, man. I mean, even as a child, you know how my mom made sacrifice to send us to Sunday school. She made sure we was in church. She made sure we went to school. She made sure, you know, we had. It might not want to be what we wanted to eat, but she made sure that we had something to eat. That we didn't go to bed hungry. And man, I tell you, when I seen that TV come back in the house, you talking about somebody was happy.
Hey, hey, Pastor. They don't like my son and my kids. They don't know nothing about that because they don't know when the TV's to sign off at 12 o'clock at night and they
Yes,
come back
sir.
on at
Yes,
six
sir.
o'clock in the morning. Now TV
Yes,
stay on
sir.
24/7. It don't
Yes,
never
sir.
turn off. They don't know nothing about that. You have no choice but to go out there. Good night, y'all, and go to bed. You
Good
have no
night.
choice,
That's I when you hear that, when you see that flag come up there, they hear that sound. That's it, baby. That's the ball
man.
game.
Dun, 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 dun. Man, okay, TV get ready to sign off.
Let's get ready to sign off. You just cut it off, and you're gonna hear static the rest of the night.
Rest of the
And we
night.
go over there and cut it off. And like you said, 6 o'clock in the morning, and come back on, man. And you know, man, I appreciate those times, man. And those times make me show my gratitude to where I'm at now. those days and those times built me. It made me be appreciative. You know, uh, man, it's just man. This is a good topic, man. And like I said, you got some people. Uh, they just and they feel, and some people think they privileged. You know
Man,
that I'm supposed to do this.
mm,
You supposed
Somebody
to
said
you supposed to do that. No, I ain't supposed to do that. This is a privilege. You know, you, and we must, as our kids get older, we must show them that hey, it's gonna come a time the same way I sacrifice for you, you gonna have to sacrifice for your family. You might have to somebody you don't even know. You may have to make a sacrifice, and they may
yeah,
call you and say, "Hey, man, blase, blase," you know, and uh, you know, it don't have to be much. You know, it's just the little things that you sacrifice. You know, it ain't got to be no big. It ain't got to be no big thing. It could be, something real small, and people will be more appreciative to that small thing, just like they would be to a big thing.
yeah. I'm glad you said that because that ties into like this question I have is has there ever been a time you had to make sacrifices and it felt like people owe you, or have you seen someone who let it be known that they made sacrifices and feel like you owe them?
Oh man, now that's a good question. And you know, to be real about it, when you do for certain people that's ungrateful, they
Mm-hmm.
gonna let you know. They gonna let you know now. You remember now. You know I sacrificed for you now, and you never paid me back. And you know when I went out my way to do this for you, you know.
Yeah.
And so now, people will throw it back in your face. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I did, I did this for you. I didn't have to do it, but I did this for you. Now I went out my way. I didn't have it. I had to go and get it for so and so, just to make sure you have it. And then you say, "Well, I'm gonna get it back to you." And if you don't get it back to them in a time frame that you said, they can always make sure. Now you remember when
Mm-hmm.
I did this now, and you told me you ain't paid me back yet. I don't want you to. I don't want to fall out with you. You know. And so yeah, man, people, you still have some genuine people in this land, and you have some people that they're gonna definitely let it be known. Hey, if it weren't for me, you wouldn't have this now. You
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
We've seen it time and time again. And I know you experienced it. I experienced it myself. I'm pretty sure my dad has over the years.
Oh yeah.
And it'll bother you because it's just like
Ooh.
you don't have to keep reminding me of that. Like I know I'm a
Oh.
man of
Ooh.
my word. So it's like I'm gonna do it. And sometimes people don't understand life can happen to where circumstances may change to where you're not able to do it in the time frame that you said you was gonna do it. Now that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean that I'm not a man of my word. It's just
Right.
something happens to where I can't do it in this moment, but I'm gonna
Right.
still get
Right.
back to you.
Right. The situation, something come up. You
Yeah.
know, I had a situation that was out of my. I had a situation come that was out of my hand, and like you say, it won't like I'm ducking you or hiding. You know, and like and that's the first thing they'll say. Oh man, you supposed to be a man of your word, and you told
Mhm.
me, well, bro, I had good intentions to, but like you say, predictable situation came up that I had to take care of that. But hey, and then like you say, when you keep reminding me now, you're getting me agitated, you're getting me frustrated, You know what I mean? And so now my mind, and you get in your mind, you be saying, now they ask me one more time, we're gonna be ready to fight. Now I told them I was gonna do this. I told them, you know what I'm saying? And you ain't got to
Mhm.
keep on reminding me and this and now, you know what I'm saying? I done got agitated now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, you know, then you first thing you say, man, you know what? When I get him this back, they ain't got to ever again worry about me.
You gotta deal with me no more after this.
No more.
I'm like a little kid now. What I miss?
Okay, so what you had missed out on the question let me see. The question I asked was, has there ever been a time you had to make sacrifices and felt like people owe you? Or have you seen someone who let it be known that they made sacrifices and feel like you owe them?
Man, they try to make you feel like you owe them everything. Ooh, hey. Don't borrow no money from them. Ooh, Lord Jesus. Hey, man, did I let you hold $20 last week? I told you I was going to pay you this week. I got you. Man, I'm just reminding you. You ain't got to remind me. In my mind, I'd be like, you know what? Who not to borrow nothing else from you? I don't even care if I need it.
And look, and when they owe you, they'll walk past you like he ain't saying nothing, I ain't saying nothing.
Yeah.
Pastor, then they throw this in there. And you mess around and said, hey man, you give them the same trick they gave you. Hey man, don't you owe me $20? Man, I'm gonna give you a little stank $20. It won't stink when I give it to you.
Yeah, oh man. Now you get the attitude about my money. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to keep telling me I'm gonna give you a little stack of money. Well, I mean, and so right then when you
last week.
hey, and after a certain time, if you don't give it back, hey man, just keep that, man. You be blessed, you keep that, and they just let me know that hey, you didn't appreciate the sacrifice. And then when you really come back and need something, you can't get it because you didn't appreciate it the first time. And sometimes people will play on your emotions and your intelligence, and they say, well, they're a man of God, they're a woman of God, they can't tell me no, you know. Yeah,
Okay, you think
yeah.
that.
I'm glad you said that. Because this next question I have is, can saying no sometimes be the greatest sacrifice you make for yourself?
Man, the greatest. The greatest. The greatest. And sometimes, boy, I ride off and I just start smiling, boy. Because hey, you know, I ain't got no problem with now if I know somebody really, really desperate, need it, and they coming from a sincere place, then hey, because last night, man, I was in I was in Greensboro, and person they was talking to me, and and they was telling me, about this and about that, and I kind of seen it. I know they weren't lying, and so I took out a couple dollars, and I like, here, go take care of, what you got to take care of, you know, and I won't looking for nothing back. Uh, and then sometimes when we do things, we are not to look for it back, because we know God gonna bless us. But man, but you have to weigh the pros and the cons because these jokers out here, they slick, boy, and they'll play on you, and they'll say, oh, that's a man of God, that's a woman of God. They ain't gonna do nothing. No, okay now. I won't born saved now. You know what I'm saying? Don't, don't do me like that now. Because I ain't forgot nothing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't forgot nothing now. I mean, because I'm cool, I'm chill. But don't push me in the closet now. Don't push me in the corner, because I got to come out by any means necessary. So, man, I tell you, man, it's just
Oh,
it just man, I tell you, life, man. Uh, but the sacrifice, man. I mean, if people will really recognize how valuable it is to make a sacrifice, man. I mean, we take it as face value sometimes, but sometimes people really go out their way to make a sacrifice. But I don't seen, coming up as a child, I don't see my aunts and people call her and she don't have it, but she'll get on the phone and call around and 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 and, and she'll make connection. Then she'll call them back and say, hey, come and get this. And the thing is, and the sad part about that is sometimes she has to pay the money back.
hmm
Now I went and got it for you. And you said you was gonna pay it back, but to keep her face clean, to keep her name straight, because she didn't want to look bad because she stuck her neck out. And she would pay it back, you know. And I mean, man, it's so many lessons to learn from being, you know, in this sacrifice, man. It's so many lessons to learn, and if you don't, and these jokers so slick now. If you don't know the game, and they feel like, boy, we got one here, boy.
Hmm.
Look at him. They see you green. They see you green. Cause you know what? I have did it. I did it. I ain't telling you nothing. I have did it, boy. When I ran across one when I was in the world, and I see how green they was, and boy, I said, "Oh man, I'm finna run a circle around this one, boy." You know, and didn't have no remorse about it, and you could, man, you better get out my face, man. Man, you what you gonna do? You beat, man. I ain't paying you nothing back, man. I'm gonna tell you, I'm so grateful to God to be who I am today, man. Cause man, that world will suck you in, and and when you want what you want, you gonna get it by any means. Ain't nothing gonna stop you from getting what you want, and you don't care who you got to play the victim. If you got to sit around all day and beg and cry and look so pitiful, you know. And back then, my parents, I sit around and just look so innocent, so pitiful. Here, boy, take this money and go. As soon as I get out the door, boy, pew, what I'm saying? I said, boy, I got it again, boy.
Pastor, check this out. They can beat you up because you owe them money, and they still ain't got no money.
And still,
You just
it's
beat me
even.
up.
Hey, I don't owe you nothing now.
Oh, you
You
better.
know, I oh, I say when you put your hands up and did what you did, oh the ransom will pay. I don't owe you nothing now. You know what I'm saying?
That debt is paid in full.
Yes sir, we even Steven now. And so man, this is good, man. This is
Yeah.
good, man.
But
And
but
like
if
I
you
s-
jump me again, it might not go the way you jumped the third time.
nah, it ain't gonna go to I reason why I didn't do that the first time because I was in the wrong.
Yeah.
You try that again now. It ain't gonna go like you expected to go this time. It's gonna be some repercussion this time. Now I let you get away with it the first time because I was wrong. I'm
Man,
wrong, and I know I honored you. But this time, boy, don't try it again now.
hey, and I'm gonna come out on top this time because I done got $20 out you, and I don't whip your butt.
Oh man. Man, I
Oh
tell
man.
you, man. I tell you, man. It's man, and it's funny how now you can look back over all that and just laugh, man. I mean, just reminisce of all the crazy stuff
Mm,
that I know that I should have been killed over, you
yep.
know. But God, but God,
I say
and
my
I
favorite.
know it wasn't nobody but Him because I did some stuff, boy. Woo. And that's why I thank God that I wanted my sons, special my sons. Now, my daughters, they good, but I wanted my sons to see a positive side. I wanted them to see the sacrifice. I wanted them to see my work ethic because I did not want them to fall in the same rut or follow the same footsteps that I went through because, you know, people when you say walking in your shoes, my sons couldn't walk in my shoes. They wasn't built tough for that. They couldn't do it, you know. And it's only by the grace of God that I made it. And so, and that's why I try to uh nurture them now, even as them they being grown men. I try to tell them, hey, bro, you're gonna have to make a sacrifice. You know, I mean, uh, you got to put aside your wants. You know, you can't get them Jordans this week. You got to go on over there and get them Converses and make sure that your child got to make sure your home's straight. You know, it ain't about you no more. Especially when you become a father and you got a family, it ain't about you. You know, you got to make a sacrifice for your family now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
'Cause that ties into this last point I'm gonna bring up, and then we close out. And sometimes you have to sacrifice comfort for growth. Becoming the person you want to be often requires giving up habits, environments, or choices that keep you comfortable.
They got Jack shaking his head. What?
Yeah.
Ooh, got
Man,
time to
listen,
shake his
you know, this morning in service, I preached the message, just preach the word. And when you preaching the word, you can't sugarcoat it. You can't let people come and hear the word and feel comfortable because we hold a responsibility to telling the truth. And man, I just kind of, thank God that uh, I had some heavy hitters in my corner. I had some people that wouldn't just let me be satisfied where I am. Because one thing about life is easier to be feel comfort right here. I'm satisfied right here. I don't want to go no further. I don't want to go no higher. I'm in my comfort zone, and it's just like on a new job. You know, when they get ready to elevate you, sometimes we push back. No, I don't want that promotion because you taking me out of my comfort zone. I know this job here. I'm comfortable right here. You know, and so we feel afraid. But I'm thank God that I had some people that will push me and wouldn't allow me to just settle. See, it's easy to just settle for right here, you know.
Mhm.
And we as fathers, as parents, we must not just let our sons or daughter just be satisfied with the norm. You know, it's more in you. We must push there. I mean, like my son now. My son graduated high school, Richard Senior High, and then he went to college in Shaw. He went to Shaw University in Raleigh. He graduated from there, and I asked, I said, "Well, what you get ready to do now?" And he's like, "Well, I'm finna take online classes." And he graduated from Central University, and now he's out. I think he couple semesters for getting his doctorate. And so, I always call him and talk to him and encourage him. Hey, boy, the sky's the limit. It's just you. You ain't got no kids, you know. So don't just settle for, a piece of the cake when you can have the whole cake. You can't. And like I say, once you get stuck in that comfort zone, man, it's hard. It's hard to get out that comfort zone. I mean, and you can push, you can prime, but when a person just get relaxed and just like this is as far as I'm going. I don't care what you say. That's a bad place to be at because you're gonna have a fight on your hand once the person get comfortable. Hey, but man, I'm grateful to God that uh I had some people pushing me to be great and to be greater. Yes, sir.
Pastor, man, we appreciate you, man. I
Yes,
kind of felt
sir.
you like to jump in a little bit, man.
Yes,
We're gonna
sir.
let you roll on out so you can enjoy the rest of the evening with your family.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Watch this, Brandon. I know you're married. I ain't trying to get no knots on top of your head messing with us. Hey, I hope you don't mind. We check you away for a few minutes. I ain't trying to get
No,
you fucked
sir.
up for the night now.
No, sir. No, sir. 'Cause I got to put the blame on you. Hey, it was brother Carl. You know.
Hey, don't forget about my son. Don't throw him under
Hey, hey, it was Carl and Brandon. Hey, baby, I got to introduce you to these guys here. They were them two.
Oh man, it's always
Oh
good to
man.
laugh, man.
Yes,
But
sir.
Pastor,
Yes, sir.
before you get off, man, give everybody your information. And before you even
Hey,
give that, before you get that, I already like I text you the other day. I already got some people that are already asking about next Sunday.
yes, sir.
Because next Sunday, even this sacrifice ties in with the cost of fitting in,
The
and
cost.
that's what the topic gonna be about. So
Yes,
I'm
yes,
gonna look over. I'm gonna look over. Hey, Pastor, I'm gonna look over my son's notes. I'm gonna get some of that stuff and bring it over to
yes,
you.
yes. Cause that's that's a great topic too, man. Cause the cost of fitting in, it ain't free. Ain't nothing free.
Where that
And you want
sacrifice
to be a
come in at.
if you want to be a part, you're gonna have to sacrifice. You got to give up something. But I just thank God for you, brothers. I come on every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock at the Hedges and Highway Outreach Ministry. And you can catch me on Facebook with my prayer ministry under James Jr. If you have a prayer request, anybody that desires prayer and don't want to make it public, you can inbox me and we will certainly call their name out and keep them in prayer. And so, we are just trying to cry loud and spare not. And so
Yeah.
we just give God all the glory and honor for what He's doing and what He's yet going to do. And I'm looking forward to the next Sunday. If the Lord say the same, and I pray that He keep y'all and keep me, and that He continue to bless this real talk because this is what needed for this generation here because we are living in a rebellious generation and our youth was being overtaken by this rap music and all this stuff that they are seeing, and they need to really sit down and have some real dialogue, you know, because like you say, the sacrifice are fitting in, you know, as my parents used to say, hey, if you can pay the cost, go ahead and be the boss, because it's a cost, and sometimes it's hell, it's the grave, or it's the jail, and if you can pay the cost for all three of them, hey, you know, but we're trying to stop you. We're trying to stop you from going to either one, you know. And so we can reach one, as Martin Luther King say, our labor is not in vain.
Right.
Mm.
All right, Pastor, man, we're gonna let you roll on out, man.
All
So that
right.
he can do his little closing. We look forward
Yes,
to
sir.
you next
Yes,
Sunday,
sir.
man. Next
Yes,
Sunday,
sir. Yes, sir.
cost of fitting in. Pastor,
Yes,
hold it
sir. Yes,
down.
sir.
If your wife asks anything, I don't know what type of sweet she like. Just text me and I see the money where you can get it. Hey, I'm trying to keep the peace in your house.
Right.
Oh Lord. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
All right.
All right, Pastor, man. We'll see you, man.
But y'all see, man.
Oh man.
We like to have a good time over here, but we also keep it real over here as well.
And one thing about him, y'all, and I know some of y'all just now starting to see him. One thing about him, he has been to prison. That's one reason I like having him on, because he gonna be straight transparent about his life. So if you missed any of the other episodes that we had him on, go, especially last week, because we was talking about on my platform, Real Talk Conversation. We was talking about you're not meant to fit in. and this Sunday we're gonna be talking about, because I know you're gonna ask me what we got coming up.
Yeah.
And then this Sunday we're gonna be talking about the cost of fitting in, because we didn't get finished with it last time, but last Sunday, but we're gonna ease on into it. And the thing about it, me and my son was talking. I said, hey man, I said, you know, what you gonna talk about when you come back on? He said he gave me two. He wanted to talk about this one right here first, sacrifice. And he didn't know that what he talked about today ties right into what we'll be talking about, what we talked about last Sunday, and this Sunday coming, nothing happened.
Which is funny because we end up doing that unintentionally.
Yeah.
Like we don't never plan it. It just be unintentional. It just ties in together somehow. But that's how you know great minds think alike.
Yeah. And we always say, you know, we're not the best, but we do our best. I guarantee you, if I was on here, we was on here talking about some old BS stuff, it'd be totally different. we try to talk about everyday life that we may go through, or we may have seen, or we have even dealt with our own self. Because one day I'm gonna be on here, I'm gonna be very transparent about a lot of stuff about me. Now I ain't gonna go into details with a lot of stuff, but I will talk about about a lot of stuff. And I'm gonna try to have still working on trying to get some pastors to come on here and let's talk. Everything ain't got to be inside your church. It's people that watch church online. And sometimes y'all catch the flack what other pastors do that you don't even do, as far as when they do all this mess inside their church. But y'all catch the flack too, because you're a pastor. But you know, we give up a lot of stuff in life that we go through, even when it comes to our children. You know, I set time aside to take care of my mama too. And I got to call my daughters and tell them we need to sit down, come together, go out and eat, whatever, just talk and laugh and joke, all that kind of stuff. we got to set some time to the side, because like Brandon said earlier, we're not getting any younger. We're getting older. You know, I'll be next year, I'll be 48.
I had to think about it. I was like, wait, 48? I was like, hold on.
Hey, if I could turn back that hand of time, I'd be right back at 20, 29.
Oh, you right there.
When I really got my life together in my late 20s, I go right back there. But no, I'll be 59 next year. Nothing happened.
I'm
But
29.
all seriousness and everything, you know, we give up a lot. If you pay attention to what's going on outside, inside of this world, inside this world, it's not a pretty sight. It's gonna get ugly, y'all.
Mhm.
I don't care what a lot of these pastors preaching all this good stuff. It's gonna get ugly sooner or later. And I know a lot of y'all don't pay attention, but if I was you, I would.
And I want to say anybody that you have in your life that you hold dear close to you, you know, they're great people, keep them in your life. You know, make great choices. Sometimes you might make bad decisions. That's fine. We're human. But when you got good people in your corner that hold you down and get on your neck, like we like to say,
Yeah.
keep them in your corner. Understand you're gonna make a lot of sacrifices in this lifetime. Whether you're younger than me, the same age, older than me, it's inevitable. As far as what we got coming up, some of y'all do know, and which you bringing that up too. I am gonna be performing and stuff like that. I will be performing. He trying to bring it up for y'all, but yeah, your boy gonna be getting down and stuff like that. I know I ain't been posting a lot like that. That's because I've been in the background doing stuff, you know, dance related. Also, some of y'all know, some of y'all don't know this, but I'm also getting the voice acting. I am creating my own anime. If y'all can help me out with this, because I don't know a lot about this stuff. I'm learning as I go. So if you know anybody that can help me with that, or you yourself, by all means, DM me and we'll figure something out. But I am performing, you know, at the Hollaback Fashion Show and stuff like that. So y'all be sure to get your tickets. There's only a limited amount of tickets. We already
They
about
selling
sold
out. Boy.
Yeah, we already about sold out. I know the VIP tickets is already sold out, but there's still a few left. So if you want to get them, you know, either you can hit me up, hit my dad up, or whatever to get your tickets. You want to pop out, you know, pop out. Come enjoy, everybody. Also, we will be having a live.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah, we'll be having a live and stuff like that. Yeah, you're gonna see your boy get down one good time. You feel me? But we will be having a live though, where the performers and the hosts of the event will be coming on to promote, you know, the event and things of that nature. So I want y'all to come back, show them just much love and support, because they will be here August 22nd. You know, so put down your calendar. Make sure you come back on that day. Like I said, we're gonna have the host and some of the performers come, and they're gonna
Gonna be on his TikTok live.
Yeah, we're gonna also be on my TikTok live and stuff like that. So we're gonna try to do it on TikTok and on Facebook if we can. We're gonna try to do it that way. You might not be able to see the chat from over there, but I will like try to read out some of it.
We're gonna try to figure something out.
Yeah,
We'll see it on Facebook and on
um,
TikTok too. So
yeah. What else? Yeah, it's just a lot that your boy got going on behind the scenes, and like I said, y'all already know I deal with sickle cell, so that's been trying to get your boy up out of here, but we ain't letting that stop me. Also, it's gonna be, I don't know when. I gotta get everybody's schedule and figure out what everybody got going on. But y'all will see some of my, who I call my brothers, and some of my sisters and people that I hold dear to me that are my friends. And we're gonna come on here one day. Now, I'm gonna let you know this now. We'll be having some real conversations. He already know, but we having some real conversations. And I will warn you, if you hear some cussing, don't you sit there and judge now. We are all human.
it's gonna get real now.
It will get real. And we talking about some real stuff.
These some young people. These ain't no old folks. These some young
Yeah.
As I always say, young people, they got a lot to say. I listen in on them sometimes. I listen in on something. Y'all might say, oh, you trying to be no, see what they saying. So, no, because I want to hear what the young folks are saying.
and sometimes we get him involved in it. So I'm just giving y'all a heads up. If you hear something, we'll let it be known. You know, even though they don't be going off the walk, you know, off the rails with it and all that. You know, they have some
We're gonna have some try to control it. Sometimes
Yeah.
when you get passionate about some stuff, sometimes it just
it comes out.
brr.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a day for that. And yeah, we're gonna have a day where y'all can come on, promote y'all stuff. If there's an episode or topic you want us to cover, by all means, let us know. We'll cover it. If you want to be on yourself, let us know. We
Just
got
feel
you.
free.
Yeah, just hit us up. We'll have you come in. Even if it's an episode we already doing, and you know, you just want to come on, just shoot us a text or whatever. We get you on. Well, we ain't talking about no mess and nothing crazy. Cool. But on that note, I will say sacrifice should cost you something, but it shouldn't cost you who you are. I'm gonna say that right there. Sacrifice should cost you something, but it shouldn't cost you who you are. Understand you're gonna make sacrifices in this life when it comes to your career. You're gonna make sacrifices, whatever it is you want to do in this world, you can do it. Don't ever give up. Stay focused, stay positive, smile. As always, be smooth with it. Catch you on the next episode. We out.